Send out press releases. I send out about 4 or 5 a week. I send them out for nonprofits. I thought when I retired from the Finger Lakes Times I would be a paid publicist for nonprofits. I discovered right away that there are no such things as paid. So I do it as volunteer because I think it's important. And I have a press list of 27 outlets. So just because you haven't made the Finger Lakes Times doesn't mean that your word didn't get out. If you go to any restaurant in town, you're going to pick up the Hometown Review or the Town Crier. If you turn on your computer, you're going to get Seneca Daily or Finger Lakes One. If you turn on your radio, you're going to get Ted Baker. If you turn on your TV, you're going to get Syracuse or Rochester TV. All of those people help you get your message out. Number one thing I want to tell you is that she talked about pitching a story. When you call Andrew Wills, media outlets, be confident, be positive that your story is the most important story they're going to see that day, because they don't know. And if you say, well, you know, I think I have something that's kind of interesting, they're thinking, what is the next story? You know, you say, Mike, I have for you the most fabulous story. I have a whole football team that's going to come and build a house in Habitat for Humanity, and if you miss this, you are going to miss an amazing event. All of a sudden, you've woken him up. Newspaper editors have a desk. On the desk, they have papers. So this is your paper. So you got to get your paper up there. So the way you do that is you sell it. And you sell it like Billy Fusillo. You know what I'm saying? And don't be shy. Because, you know, nobody's going to tell your story but you. So if you don't tell your story with confidence, with enthusiasm, there ain't nobody going to tell it. Okay, let me tell you first of all the form, because it drives editors bonkers when what they want isn't there. This is a piece of paper. This is your logo, which is always there. This is your address, your email, your telephone number, which is always there. This says, for more information, contact, which please put that there. Put a name of somebody, put an email, put a phone. If they have a cell phone number, put the cell phone number there, because they cannot look it up if it's a cell phone. Make sure that's there right smack at the top, so they can't miss it. Then you write for immediate release. Why do you write that? I have absolutely no idea. It doesn't mean a damn thing. But you put it there. When they see it, they're going to release it. And they're not going to hold it. They can't think that way. So, but you just write for immediate release because it says, I'm now done with the important stuff. Now I'm going to get to the, you know, with the boilerplate stuff. Now I'm going to get to the real story. Then down at the bottom, you're going to do another useless thing, sort of. And you're going to end with 30. Down here, you're going to do what we call boilerplate. 9 times out of 10, that's the first thing the editor's going to cut. But you, for your own conscience, are going to put that in. United Way is a member agency that serves 27 organizations in the Finger Lakes and is supported by the generous contribution. You put that there all the time. They're not going to print it. You know they're not going to print it. They know they're not going to print it. But you have now satisfied your moral compass. I gave it to them. And someday, maybe, there's a hole. And so they run the whole thing, and there it is. Who knew? Okay. Right here, you put fudge, it has a name. It's where the story is located. Waterloo, Seneca Falls, Phelps, whatever. This helps them when they're trying to get geographical distribution, get some idea of what it's serving. Then the next thing is called the lead. The lead in general is something interesting. This is for a news story. is a single father of 3 kids who is trying to make a $10 grocery bill, $10 grocery budget last a week. Whoa, you got my attention. Sally Jones has a cat with only 1 back leg and still manages to scratch his left ear. Whatever, just something that's interesting. And then you tell the story, and you tell it, as Susan said, in an inverted pyramid. Most important stuff at the top, least important stuff at the bottom. You see where your boilerplate landed? So get this stuff up here. All right, what's the most important stuff? Well, you all know what it is. But just for the sake of fun, I'm going to tell you. Who, what, where, why, when, how. That's what you want to know. I want to know who, that's your organization or your group, or your, what are they going to do? Where are they going to do it? It's always nice if you include the county, especially if you're not doing just the Finger Lakes Times. When, and I want to know the day of the week, and the date, and the time. And there's a formula for that. There's a formula for everything. It's time, day of the week, place. Time, day, place. That's how it goes. Okay, so we want to know that, and we want to know why. To raise funds for a family that lost their house. And how are they going to do it? They're going to have a car, what's it going to do, whatever. I don't care. People from all over the world are going to descend on the call. All right, so you have its date. And it's always Tuesday, June 15th. Why do you write Tuesday, June 15th? Because, as you well know, June 15th was a Wednesday. And so that gets people saying, well, was it Tuesday or was it June 15th? I don't know, but I better figure it out. Okay. Now, how do you know what is the most important thing and what is the least important thing? I mean, in terms of your organization, you know. But it also makes a difference who you're writing for. If you are writing for the New York Times, that's what they want to know. If you are writing for the Syracuse newspaper or the Democrat and Chronicle, that's what they want to know. If you are writing for the Finger Lakes Times, that's what they want to know. If you are writing for the Reveille, that's what they want to know. If you are writing for the Hometown Review, that's what they want to know. So it makes a difference who you're writing for. The guy in the New York Times, he might get your name in, he might get the date in, but he doesn't really want to get carried away with whether or not 5 kids and their dogs and march in the parade and hanging out. But the guy from the Reveille, he wants to know. He wants to know all of that, those neat details that made the story really interesting. The guy in the Finger Lakes Times does too, but probably not to that extent. So know your audience. Know which ripple in this pond you're writing for, and write for them. Don't muck up your whole story to the Syracuse newspaper and the Democrat and Chronicle with all these 50 details, because they're just going to look at it and say, too wordy, and throw it out. They don't have time. Remember their desk? They don't have time to edit this stuff and to pick out the kernels of the peanuts in the gorp. If you give them the whole gorp, if they don't want gorp, out you go. So know your audience and know who you're writing for. The other thing is, and Susan sort of said it, but let me say it very graphically. Know the deadline. After the deadline,